Hey girls, how are you all? Hope so you all are doing well. So I will upload this story as I make these other stories. Don't read your all comments about the previous one. I will think about that later. So let's start the story. The room is filled with the silence as the man sit here is busy in his work. He don't like and something like that until the door knocked. Yoongi come in. The boy enter in the room. He see him. Yoongi, you here? His voice is calm and cold. Jimin, yes sir. The clients from London want to come today and they said they have to go back, so I call them. Yoongi, and who give you permission to call them? Jimin, sir, you don't have any meeting, so I cut off by Yoongi. Yoongi, you know my business schedule, not the. He said, and Jimin looking down. Jimin, if I don't call them right now, then they will. Their company not ours. Jimin, it's true, sir, but it can give us profit also, so they can see this. Yoongi, the meeting. Jimin, but sir, Yoongi, do as I said. He said, and Jimin didn't say anything and bow at him. Jimin, as you said, sir. Yoongi, go home. Now it's already night. Jimin, yes, sir. He said, and go from there. Yoongi, in mind, really, Jimin? You are working from morning and now you want me to meet with that clients, so you become more late. You also need rest. Okay, so he canceled the meeting for Jimin. He grabbed his car keys and also okay, so he is Min Yoongi, the CEO of his company. His parents him so much. He has a young sister who's younger than him. Yoongi Jimin from a long time. Jimin is his secretary from almost 2 years, and Yoongi is like he's with him. At home, Jimin come home and sit on the couch. He signed Jimin Chiang. I am at home. He and a boy come. Chiang, oh, you come? Jimin, Chiang offer him water. Chiang, you come late. Jimin, because of him. I confirmed the meeting as the client said they go London back. I convinced them for meeting and he said the meeting like seriously. You know he is impossible sometimes. Chiang smiled. Chiang, it's okay. Jimin Hyung is like this. Jimin, he is unbelievable. I don't sign the next contract. I decide, Jiang, you said this last year also, Jimin. I think, how can a new secretary handle all this? So I stopped, Jiang. You care for him, Jimin? Me, never. Yoongi is in. Yoongi is in his room. He is looking outside from the window when someone back him. He smiled. Do you know the person, Yoongi? You are here, princess? Yiji, yes, Hyung. I am here. Tell me, how's my Jimin, Hyungi? She asked, being excited and stand in front of him. Yoongi, as usual, cute and beautiful. Yuji, I know Hyung. He's. I am asking. He's okay. She asked while giggling. Yoongi, he's okay. Yuji, you him? She asked and Yoongi signed. She also signed. Yuji, like seriously, how can you do this, Hyung? I said you many times, don't him. If you continue this, how can he you back? Yoongi, oh, you think if I don't him, he start to me. Yuji, yes, Hyung, and you know. Mom is asking me if don't she find someone for you and I said yes you someone. Yoongi, and then Yujishi said I invite him on there. Yoongi, he come already. As he is my secretary, Yuji introduce him with mom dad. Yoongi, I do something. Yuji, they will surely going to like Jimin. Yoongi, now go and bring coffee for me. She ran from there. Yoongi in mind, they Jimin for surely. But what about Jimin? He never me back. or not he me or not. If he me what I do, he the thought is me, he go away from me. He think and see his phone wallpaper. It's Jimin picture. Huh, okay. Next day, Jimin come in. Next day, Jimin come in the room with the cup of coffee. He places on the table. Jimin, good morning, sir. Yoongi, morning. Sit here, he said, and Jimin sit on the chair. He places his phone on the side and look at him. Yoongi, Jimin, my parents is coming. Jimin, oh, congratulations, sir. Yoongi, why me? You should congrats them. Jimin, me? How? Yoongi, you come on the Jimin, sir? Me. Yoongi, yes, you and I don't come office tomorrow. Manage my schedule like this and come on time. I text you the venue address. Well, Taeyang, come, you come with him. Jimin, what I do there, sir? Yoongi, you come, it's my order, he said, and Jimin, see him and he and then nodded. Jimin, okay, sir. Yoongi, I want you there at 7. Jimin, okay, sir. You don't come office tomorrow, so I replace your meetings on today or the day after tomorrow. Yoongi, the day after tomorrow. Jimin, okay. Yoongi, see him. As Jimin start to explain him his schedule, Yoongi is admiring him. Jimin, and here your day finish. Yoongi, okay, go now and do your work, he said, and Jimin nodded. He bowed at him and he go from there. Yoongi sighed and he closed his eyes. The only word come from his mouth is gorgeous. Yeah, Jimin is really something in this story. Okay, the next scene is hmm, Yoongi is in Yoongi is in the living room with his parents. He and his sister deciding everything. Mrs. Min, Yoongi, yes, mom. Mrs. Min, Gigi said you someone, she asked, and they're all attention on him. Yoongi, it's true, mom, I someone. Mrs. Min, how much time passed? Yoongi, almost 2 years, Mr. Min, my son, someone from almost 2 years, and we don't know. Gigi, yes, dad, and the main thing is he don't young back. She said and started laughing. Mr. Min, really, Yoongi? Yoongi, it's true that he is my secretary. Mrs. Min, your secretary, I say him. Yoongi, no, you don't. Mr. Min, so introduce us with him. When you do this, Yoongi, I do soon, and that, and at that, even I invite him tomorrow on he come. Mrs. Min become happy. Mrs. Min, really? Then I am excited. Yoongi, mom, he don't know. I him, so please make sure he don't felt Mrs. Min make up out. Jimin, why he invite? Why he invite me, Chiang? Chiang, seriously, Jimin? He invites you and you are behaving like this? Jimin, Chiang, I really don't want to come. How can I meet with his parents and all of that? Chiang, you are behaving like they are here for asking you with him. And Jimin, ooh, I but don't him. Chiang, in mind you don't and him with. Jimin, you promise you stay with me, Chiang. I have my Jimin, Chiang. They enter in the venue. Jungkook, hey guys. Jimin, hey Jungkook. He smiled to see him. Chiang, hey. Jungkook, you are looking so beautiful. Chiang, Chiang, hi, thank you. Jimin, don't be in front of me, please. Jungkook, you will also like this when you find someone. Jimin, I will not. Jungkook, we will see. They are talking and then Yoongi come. Chiang, hello, Hyung. Yoongi, hey Chiang. He look at Jimin and he is like, and him Jimin is looking so beautifully. Black colored dress is looking so perfect. Jimin is feeling Jungkook. Yoongi come in reality. Jimin, hello sir. Yoongi, it's 7:15. Jimin see him with done face. Jimin, I am here on time, sir. I am talking with Taeyang. Yoongi, you have to meet me first, I think, he said, and Jimin didn't say anything but make up out. Taeyang and Jungkook smile and go, Jimin, it's not like I am your. He mumbled, Yoongi, you said something? Jimin, huh? No. He passed him a smile. Yoongi heard. What he said, he smiled. What he said is smile, but unnoticed by everyone until someone Yoongi from back. Yoongi see Yuji. Yoongi hair princess. Yuji, wow, young looking. Yoongi, oh really? He said, and his eyes is on Jimin. Yuji, Yoongi, he is Jimin, my secretary, and Jimin, she is my sister. Yuji, Jimin, nice to meet you, ma'am. Yuji, no, no, don't call me ma'am, please. Jimin, or what I call you? Yuji, call me by my name. Jimin name? He's feeling hesitate. Yuji, I know it's called, but you can call me by your name, by my name. Yoongi, please, it's okay. Jimin didn't say anything. Yoongi san, Yoongi, Yuji, I think mom is calling you. Yuji, no, Hyung, she is not. Yoongi, Yuji, go. He said, and she make about and go. Yoongi, I'm sorry if you felt. He said, and Jimin see him with his widened eyes. Jimin, what? What you said? Yoongi, what? Jimin, you said sorry. Yoongi, sign. Yoongi, I am not your boss here. Jimin, huh? Okay. Yoongi, B, you are feeling like someone you hear. Jimin, yeah, someone do, and it's you with your gaze. Yoongi, Jimin, yes, sir. Yoongi sign and he go. Jimin sign in real life. Jimin, huh? How can his family him? He think and went to Taeyang. Time is passing. Jimin is talking with Jungkook and Taeyang. Jimin is talking with Jungkook and Taeyang. What he do here? As he don't know anyone expect Yoongi. And also laughing. They just done. They just done with the cake. Jungkook, hey, you meet with Yoongi mom. Jimin, no, I don't, but I give her gift to their mates. He said simply, Jungkook, come, I introduce you. Jimin, why? Meet Young. You don't meet with auntie yet. She's so sweet, Jimin. Come, she's so sweet. Come, Jimin. Jimin, why would I? And I don't go anywhere. You know that. Well, if he think I am trying to his family, then he said and both signed. Jungkook, and why would he think this? Jimin, and why don't he think? Jungkook, you know, Jimin, you have so much. Jimin, thank you so much, Jungkook. He said and both signed to him. Jungkook, only Hyung can handle you. He said and Jimin could speak something. Hmm. Jimin could speak something. He heard Jungi. He heard Yoongi's voice. He turned and see Yoongi. Jimin, sir, Yoongi, you guys are talking about something. Saying, yeah, we are saying Jimin to go and meet with Min auntie. We sure, but he is not ready. Yoongi look at Jimin, and then Yoongi, mom, as Mrs. Min holds Mrs. Min, you are saying him like him. Yoongi, mom, leave me. Mrs. Min, Yoongi, if I ever see you like this, I will you. She said, and Jimin smiled while looking down. Yoongi, why you are laughing? Jimin immediately stopped. Mrs. Min, Yoongi, fine. He rolled his eyes. Jungkook, congratulations, Auntie. Mrs. Min, thank you so much, my son. She smiled. Taeyang, congratulations, Min Auntie, for your Mrs. Min. Oh, my cutie. Thank you. Taeyang smiled. Mrs. Min, you are Jimin, right? Jimin, yes, congratulations, ma'am. Mrs. Min, he you to call me ma'am. Yoongi, what? No. Mrs. Min, you and Jimin son. Jimin son, you give me answer. Jimin smile and sign as no. Jimin, no. Mrs. Min, then call me auntie. Well, if If you want, call me mom. It's okay. She remember last word, Jimin. Thank you. Mrs. Min, oh, so sweet of you. And Mr. Min, also come, Mr. Min. What happened, guys? Mrs. Min, he is Jimin. Jimin, boy, at Mr. Min, oh, so you are the one who's handling my son from 2 years. You know, you are the one who's with him. Otherwise, the secretaries. Otherwise, the secretaries. Uh, uh, complete their first contract, he said, and they all start laughing. Yoongi, really, dad? He look at him with dun-faced young. It's okay, uncle. Jimin is also thinking not to sign the next one, he said, and they all went silent. Yoongi, Jimin, I don't decide yet. Don't listen him. He gave Jimin Mrs. Min. We will not you if you don't do. Son, as I know my son well, Yoongi, guys, really? Mr. Min, it's okay, son, it happens, he said, and Yoongi signed. They talk for sometimes. Jimin is with his family. He talked with Mrs. Min also, and then it's time to go. Mrs. Min, time passed so early, son. Jimin smiled to see her. Jimin, it's really so good to talk with you. Mrs. Min smiled. Mrs. Min, take this, son, she said, and give her pendant to Jimin. Jimin, auntie, what are you doing? Mrs. Min, take this as a small gift from me. You come first time. Jimin, no, no, auntie, please, I can't. Mrs. Min, I don't listen you. Next day in office, Jimin enter in the office and says Yoongi is doing work. Jimin, sir, can we talk? Yoongi, said. He closes. He closed the file. Jimin, sir, take this, he said, and place the pendant on the table. Yoongi see the pendant and look at Jimin. He take the pendant from the table and see with shocked eyes. Yoongi, the pendant. This is my pendant, and you have this. Yoongi, your mom gave me last night, and she don't listen me. She don't take back. Please, sir, I don't accept this. It's so far from so please just give me a favor. Say sorry to your mom from me, he said. Then Yoongi could speak something. His son. Yoongi, okay. He placed the pendant in his pocket. Jimin, and tomorrow my contract finish. Yoongi look at him. Jimin, but as the project is ongoing, it's take 1 more week to finish the project. If you said I come office, Yoongi, why don't sign the next contract? Jimin, he could speak something. The door open. Dad, Jimin turned. He see the kid. His eyes widen. He run toward him in front of and bent down in front of him. Jimin, you are here? What you are doing here? Minjin, Papa, I am here to meet you. Jimin become and then come. The boy become. Yoongi see all this. He is shocked. Sir, the kid don't listen us and come here. We try to stop him. Minjin, my hand. Jimin, what? He see his hand and see the Jimin, you are even. How can you do this with a kid? Sir, we stop him. When he don't listen us, we can do this. Jimin, he's just a kid on yourself. Jimin, stand up. Jimin, I'm sorry, sir, but he is just a kid. Yoongi is so shocked to react. Minjin, Papa, Jimin, come with me. Sir, I don't sign the next contract, guys. I need to go back to my family. Hope so you understand. Yoongi, your family? Jimin, yes, my family. Minjin, Fast is waiting downstairs, he said, being excited. Yoongi, he is your Jimin, yes, sir. Yoongi see him and he again look at Jimin. Okay, so finally 12 minutes voiceover are left. And hope so you find a new secretary. He said and both to a handshake. Jimin see Minjun and smiled. Jimin, let's go. And you to him again, he said. And he go from there. Yoongi see him going with that kid. He sit on the chair and see the pendant. The door is closed. He is feeling like his heart. Now he wants to everything. His eyes turn. His eyes is continuously from his eyes. He think to him tomorrow and before one day his everything. What we can expect from him to do. It's almost 2 years, but your uni ad is something really, really, really like you guys can't think about that. Huh? Jimin, okay, now you tell me you are here. Minjun, yes, you promised me you come home and do dinner with us. That's why we are here to take you with us. Jimin see his sister and smile. Tell me you are here. Yeah, you said. Jimin, Nona. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's night time. Minjun is sleeping. Neha, Jimin, what you think? You think next Nona, you Hyung, now it's been a 5 years. You think he changed Jimin? He's no, please. For Yunjin, he also wants from his dad. Neha, okay, as you said, I talked with him. He smiled. Jimin, his Nona. Jimin, I am so happy for you, Nona. Okay, so his Nona have with Jung Hoseok. He is also a businessman, but they had in which hobby said she want, and she is at him now. Jimin convinced her for him. Jimin, okay, now I am going in my room. Bye. Neha, good night, and go in the room. Okay, okay, 23 is the third last scene start. Alright. Hmm. Meanwhile with Yoongi, he sit on the side. His eyes, his hairs is as Mrs. Min come and see the whole room. She on the lights. Mrs. Min, Yoongi. She whisper and Yoongi see her. Mrs. Min sit in front of him. Mrs. Min, what happened, son? Hard to see him. Yoongi add, mom. He said and start. Mrs. Min, my son. Make her also. She start to comfort. Mrs. Min, my son. Yoongi, mom. I will. If I don't get him, mom, please said him don't do this. Mrs. Min, Yoongi, my son. Listen me. What happened, Yoongi? Mrs. Min in mind. Oh God, what happened, Jimin? Please don't do this. She signed to see her son. Okay, so this is finally the third last scene. Hmm. Hmm. 1 month passed. Jimin is in the mall with his sister and Minjun. Yoongi come here for meeting. They are walking and Jimin with someone he about to, but the person him Jimin see him. He see Yoongi after 1 month. What's happened with him? He is looking so he is not like before. Jimin sir. He smiled lightly to see Yoongi and Yoongi. He's all previous fresh. Then a girl come. Ria, are you sir? You okay? Jimin see her. Yoongi, Jimin. Jimin, how are you, sir? I'm sorry I don't get time to contact with you again. Yoongi, how can you? You do when you are busy with your family. Jimin, alright. Minjun, don't leave me for a second. Yoongi, how can he? How can he? You are his Jimin. I am not, sir. He said, and Yoongi see him. Yoongi, he call you. And you said he is your Jimin Jekyll. Jimin, actually, sir, Minjun is my Nona son. My Nona hatched with her. They live. So he was kid. He start to call me, and I don't said anything. But now they are okay. You also think Minjun is my aunt? Yoongi become shocked to hear Yoongi. You are not Jimin sign as no Jimin. I am not. I explained you on that day. But I was so because he mentioned leave this. Tell me How's your work going, Ria? Sorry for sir, but you have meeting. But you have meeting. Um, in 10 minutes. Jimin, I'm sorry. We talk later. Um, he said with a small smile. Yoongi will talk here right now. The meeting, Ria. Ria, but the meeting is important. Jimin, I think the meeting is really important, sir. Yoongi, do as I said, Ria. Jimin, as I said, Ria. If you your job, he's and voice she go from the Jimin is not understanding and Yoongi look at him. Yoongi, you know what you did in this one month you did and not tell me everything. How can you did this? Huh? How can you did this? Okay, he said. I close the text. You don't know how much, how much are you from 2 years? I thought to you to ask you for Jimin. I think to spend my whole life with you. But on that day I saw when you said I think I the reason to without you. I am Jiminy. I know if I don't now I am without you, Jimin. I don't know how to, but please accept me, please, he said. Dan Jimin for a moment. Yoongi is the CEO of the biggest company. He don't care about his. Jimin bent down in front of him and him back. Yoongi start. Okay. So in the mall, that's not as old as I think. Hmm. Anyway, I'm sorry, Yoongi back and sign as no. Jimin wipe his eyes also turn. He don't understand for him. Young, it's not your. It's just Jimin still. I need to. I need to explain you. I don't see you. Yoongi, well, you meet Park Jimin. Jimin happily meet Yoongi. He said, Dan, Jimin. Everyone start clapping to see them. They back and see the people around them. Jimin chuckled to see him and Yoongi. They are just amazed by Yoongi. Everyone is clapping to see them. Jimin is feeling. Jimin, you really? Me, Yoongi, really? I saw much and you are asking me this. Jimin chuckled to see this and she on his forehead. Huh. Okay, so second last scene. The day come Jimin stand in front of Yoongi. Already Yoongi see him with a smile. Everyone is so happy to see them. Father Min Yoongi, did you accept Park Jimin? Yoongi, I do. Father Park Jimin, did you accept Min Yoongi? He asked and they all wait for Jimin response. Yoongi, Jimin, give answer. Jimin, what I said. Yoongi, Jimin, haha, sorry, I do. You both may now. Jimin, Yoongi, my forehead. Everyone is here. He whispered. Yoongi bent down. In front of him, he held his hand and on his. Jimin smiled to see him. Yoongi looked at him and stand up, and they all start clapping to see them. Mrs. Min, finally. Hmm. Finally, I am so happy, she said. Chan. They all meet with Jimin one by one. My Yoongi, huh? Sit down. Last scene and the third last text. Jimin sit down. Jimin sit on the bed waiting for Yoongi to come. Yoongi enter in the room. Jimin stand up to see him. He is as how can he face him? Yoongi see Jimin. He went toward him. Jimin look at him and stand in front of him. Both are looking at each other for some time, and Jimin is the one who looked down. Yoongi, You don't know what I in this one man Jimin, so it's not easy to get. You need to do so many things and you do. He said and Yoongi. Jimin places both and Yoongi, yeah I do, and now see I get what I. Jimin smiled to see him. Jimin, I really don't know you me that much. Okay, so that was the no third last scene. This is the last scene and the third last text. Just because of the way Yumi, he said, and caressing his ears. Yoongi held his hand and on his hand. Yoongi, you don't know how much I and about my Jimin chicks stand. Yoongi, you know I always think you could. Jimin, don't be so Yoongi. Love me, he said. Dan. Jimin see him. He can see the in his eyes his smile and his face. Yoongi smiled to see him. And next you all this read this by yourself. I am not going to do voiceover on this. Like how can I do? No, that was the third last text. This is the last scene and the second last text. Finally, the one text is left. Okay, and the last scene and the last scene and the last text. Jimin and bye bye. I think I write something. No, I write in the experience one. And okay. Okay. Last scene. Hope so you all like. If you like, then subscribe and tell me in comments. Bye bye. Take care of yourself. Sarang. See you soon in the next video. I will upload the next video soon, and I try to write one by one as making part is so it's become boring. Okay, only 10 seconds left. So again I repeat, hope so you all like. If you like, then subscribe and tell me in comments. Bye bye. Take care of yourself. Sange. See you in the next video. Till that, take care. Bye.